Hello everyone, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this video, we will see the issue of India and Central Asia relations. India's return to Central Asia is the editorial in today's Hindu newspaper. So, we will be discussing about India and Central Asia relations in this video. So, what is the context in which we are discussing the video? The first context, and we also have the second context. The first context is India and Central Asia concluded a dialogue in December 2021. Okay, and this was the third meeting between India and Central Asia, and it is also called as Third India and Central Asia Dialogue. Okay, this is the first context, Third India and Central Asia Dialogue. And the second context is the regional security dialogue with respect to Afghanistan. Okay, regional security dialogue, which is also called as Delhi dialogue, with respect to Afghanistan, and this included all the heads of the state of 5 Central Asian countries. Okay, here there can be a prelims question like regional security dialogue, which is also called as Delhi dialogue, is related to, okay, it is related to Afghanistan, and it is between India and 5 Central Asian states. Okay, I hope you are clear with the question and also the answer. And what is the scope of this particular issue with respect to UPSC mains? Okay, and we have in GS part 2, we have a part called IR, International Relations. We also have the impact of global policies on India. Okay, this particular Central Asian countries come under the subtopic of impact of global policies on India. Okay, come let's see the location of the Central Asian countries. Okay, here is the Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. Okay, these are the 5 Central Asian countries. Okay, in this context, I want you to go through the entire map of the Central Asia and also make note of their capitals. For example, we have Ashgabat here, capital of Turkmenistan. We have Dushanbe, capital of Tajikistan. Kyrgyzstan, capital is Bishkek. Okay, we have Bishkek here. Uzbekistan, capital is Tashkent. You would have heard of this. Kazakhstan, that is Astana. Okay, you should be able to arrange the countries and also their capitals from north to south and also from east to west. Okay, these are the 2 types of questions related to places that are in news. If the Central Asia is in news, then the entire 5 countries and also their capitals has to be studied from this point of view, north to south and also from east to west. So chances of UPSC asking such questions is high when Central Asia is in news. I think you know the location of the Central Asia. Here is India and we have Pakistan. Okay, why do we need Central Asia? Why is it important? Why is Central Asia important to India? Okay, this is the matter of discussion now. First thing, we have economics. Okay, in economics we have 2 topics. One is the natural resources and also market to Indian goods. Comes to natural resources, around 12% of uranium, around 12% of the entire uranium reserves are in these particular 5 countries that we can call it as Central Asian republics. Okay, so it is huge, it has a huge natural resource, and this is one of the example of its natural resource. The second one is the market. For Indian goods, Central Asia can be a great market. So in order to have the in order to realize the economic potential of Central Asia, India should have a greater cooperation with Central Asian republics. And the second one is the emergence of trilateral partnership. You might wonder what is the trilateral partnership in the present day context. The trilateral partnership pertaining to the Central Asia is China, Pakistan and Taliban. Okay. This particular security threat has been extensively discussed in today's newspaper. Please go through the newspaper and also the video in order to have a broader idea. Okay. China and Pakistan have become all-weather friends. China and Pakistan have not stopped having diplomatic relations with Taliban, which means China and Pakistan, also Taliban, have formed a trilateral partnership, and all these three countries have borders with Central Asia. Okay, because of which this forms a greater challenge for India to have greater cooperation with Central Asian countries. And the next one is Russia and China tussle. Okay, Russia is termed as politico-military power. Okay, politico-military power. Remember these adjectives. Okay, when you quote these type of adjectives in your GS2 answers, it gives a greater value to your answer, and also it will contribute in your marks. This is a value addition. And China is termed as geopolitical and economic power. Okay, look at the adjectives. Russia is politico-military power, whereas China is geopolitical or geostrategic and economic power. Okay, because of the tussle between Russia and China, Russia is inclined towards having greater cooperation with India in order to deal with Central Asia. I think you are following this. I'll repeat it again. Because of such tussle between Russia and China, Russia is looking forward to have a greater cooperation with India in order to deal with Central Asia. Okay, this is why Central Asia becomes important. And the next one is the issue with Afghanistan. Okay, issue with Afghanistan is two types. One is the withdrawal of USA or the NATO forces. Withdrawal of USA created a kind of vacuum when it comes to Afghanistan. So India, which is aspiring to be a regional and a world power, in order to fill the vacuum in Afghanistan, the only route through which Afghanistan can be accessed politically and economically is through Central Asia, because Central Asia shares border with Afghanistan. Through Central Asia, India can have a greater cooperation with Afghanistan. So withdrawal of USA created a vacuum. And the second kind of problem for which Central Asia becomes important is the trilateral partnership. Taliban plus China plus Pakistan have formed a partnership with which they want to reap the potential of Central Asia for their benefits. So what are the challenges? What are the challenges for India in order to deal with Central Asian republics? First and the most important one is that India does not have a physical border with any of the Central Asian republics. We have discussed 5 Central Asian republics. You can see the map here. Here is India and here are Central Asian republics, and India does not share a border with the Central Asian republics. Because of this, that India does not have a border, it becomes highly impossible for India to bypass Pakistan and reach Central Asia. Okay, it becomes highly impossible for India to bypass Pakistan and reach Central Asia. Okay, Pakistan is not cooperative enough to allow Indian delegation or Indian goods movement through Pakistan to reach Central Asia. So this is the first and the most important challenge that India is facing with respect to Central Asian republics. Second is Chinese dominance. Okay, China has been the largest investor and also the largest trading partner with respect to the 5 Central Asian republics. So China has grown immensely in importance when it comes to these 5 Central Asian republics. And the third one is Iran and JCPOA issue. Okay, look carefully. Here is Iran, this is Iran, okay, and here India has constructed a port called Chabahar. Okay, this is Chabahar. India is planning to reach Central Asia and Afghanistan through multimodal route, that is from India to Chabahar through ocean and from Chabahar to Afghanistan through rail or road, and also to Central Asia. Okay, this is the strategic plan that India has behind constructing Chabahar port in Iran. But what happened after the construction was started? USA imposed sanctions on Iran and withdrew from Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. This is the civil nuclear deal which P5 plus Germany has with Iran. Okay, JCPOA, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, is a civil nuclear deal that permanent members of UNSC along with Germany has with Iran. Okay, USA withdrew from JCPOA and applied sanctions on Iran. These sanctions are economic sanctions and also foreign travel sanctions. When economic sanctions were put on Iran, India was skeptical in having the trade relations with Iran, okay, in order to reach Afghanistan and Central Asia. If in case the sanctions are lifted on Iran and India is allowed to reap the benefits of the Chabahar port for its fullest, then it will be a boon for India in order to deal with Afghanistan and also Central Asia. Okay, I think you have followed till here. And the last one, the challenge is the Russian influence. All these countries, the Central Asian countries, have the impact of the erstwhile USSR. Okay, have the impact of erstwhile USSR, and Russia acts as a big brother with respect to all these countries. And also these 5 countries along with USSR plus China, India and Pakistan have a regional grouping. Okay, they have a regional grouping called Shanghai Cooperation Organization in order to promote the cooperation in the area. Strengthening India-Russia ties. In order to have greater cooperation in Central Asia, India and Russia are strengthening their cooperation in the field of defense. We also saw the S-400 deal that India made with Russia. India and Russia have also agreed for joint production of defense equipment in Central Asian regions. Okay, remember this is a new thing that is coming up, joint cooperation in defense production in Central Asian countries between India and Russia. Okay, when it comes to the economic terms, India has invested heavily in far east region of Russia, that is, we call it as Vladivostok. Okay, in your atlas you can see the location of Vladivostok. This is a far east region of Russia. When it comes to the strategic ties, India and Russia are a part of SCO and they are also working on International North-South Transport Corporation. Okay, in all these aspects, India and Russia are trying to strengthen their partnership so that they can counter USA, they can also counter China, and they can work towards the peace in Afghanistan and also work together in Central Asian republics. Okay, this is the reason why the all-weather friends, that is Russia and India, are strengthening their relationship. Time for the question. India's Central Asia policy revolves around the bilateral and multilateral geostrategic power politics. Okay, this is a very complicated question. India's Central Asia policy revolves around the bilateral and multilateral geostrategic power politics. Okay, here in order to answer the question, you need to bring the issue of USA's withdrawal from Afghanistan and the tussle between China and USA, and also the emergence of trilateral cooperation between China, Pakistan and Taliban on the one side, and also Russia and India strengthening their cooperation so that they can deal better with Central Asian republics. Okay, on these lines this question has to be answered, because in the question they have clearly mentioned bilateral and multilateral geostrategic power politics. Okay, these are the keywords: bilateral and multilateral geostrategic power politics. Okay, since these keywords are mentioned in the question, you are supposed to encompass these many issues. We have discussed all these issues in the video. I hope you have followed this. For more such enriching content, please subscribe to Legacy IAS Academy. Have a nice day. Thank you.